Next, he goes on to say, if you ever want to do anything great with your life, you must stop believing those who say you can't. Boy, he is so right about that. This naysaying always comes from the mouths of people who never did it for themselves. And you know what? If you can find mentors, if you can find interviews, if you can find podcasts from successful people who have achieved the goals that you're looking to do, then you've got to find and follow those people. This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Ewell. Hey there, traders. Welcome back to today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast. Today, we have a special lesson for you. I'm putting it here on the podcast because I really believe that this is going to provide you massive, massive value. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And hey, listen, if this podcast was useful to you at all, I really highly suggest that you go check out the full trading course at AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com. Markets are people. People are predictable. Outlier can show you how to track market fear and greed with artificial intelligence on over 1,300 of the largest market cap names. Visit outlier.com to learn more. That's OVTLYR.com. They have a free pilot program for the rest of 2021 so you can get access to right now at OVTLYR.com. That's OVTLYR.com. Hey, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we give you more tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter every single week. Hey there, traders. Welcome back to today's How to Trade Stocks Options podcast. Today, we are going to be covering the 8 keys for Superperformance by Mark Minervini. And today is number 1. This actually comes from his book, Think and Trade Like a Champion. And in this book, starting on page 204, he's got 2 sections here. The first 4 of these keys is called the 4 keys to generating big performance. Yeah. And so the first one of these keys for super performance is timing. And so we're going to be covering the timing in this video. And this is going to be another one of those series that we've been putting on. So the 4 keys to generating big performance, which is the first half of the 8 keys to unlocking super performance, is timing. Now, as Mark puts it here, top of the list of what most experts say that you can't do is time the market. Yes, you can time the market. In fact, Mark has been doing it successfully for decades. Now, there is half of the investing community out there that says the market is efficient, and that if you actually get lucky enough to beat the market, it was pure luck, and you just happen to be riding on that side of the equation there. But on the other side of the equation, the market should have beaten you handily. And that nobody can time the market better than just buying and holding. And Mark has been doing that successfully for decades. And I personally, the way that I trade, you follow trends. Trends don't exist in the quote efficient market hypothesis, right? Basically, the price that it is today is the most efficient way, and that any additional information is what it's going to take to move the stock one way or another, but there's no possible way that the stock price can change except from what it is today based on the data we have at hand. And we all know that that's not true. The efficient market hypothesis is a total incorrect hypothesis, I guess is the way to say it. Now, Mark goes on to say that trading at a high level is about finding those right time, right place moments in the market for which you have been properly prepared. Now, to Mark's point here is that you may find the right stock, and it may be the one stock that makes your year, your decade, maybe your entire life. But if you are not prepared for this moment, if you're not ready for it, it doesn't matter if you're in the right spot, you've got to be prepared. And next he goes on to say, if you ever want to do anything great with your life, you must stop believing those who say you can't. Boy, he is so right about that. This naysaying always comes from the mouths of people who never did it for themselves. And you know what? If you can find mentors, if you can find interviews, if you can find podcasts from successful people who have achieved the goals that you're looking to do, then you've got to find and follow those people, right? Tim Ferriss has this amazing quote. It says, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And imagine for a moment that you spend time with people who bring you down, who don't believe in you, who don't think that you can be successful. That's just going to eat away at your psyche. Or you can find a new group, not just your close friends, but you can find those books, you can find those podcasts, you can find those new Facebook groups even of like-minded people to yourself that actually want to make a difference in the world and know that they have more than what they've done in the past, that they are ready to move forward. And it's all about having the right timing. So Mark goes on to say more. To generate big returns, you must compound your money rapidly, which makes total sense, right? He says it's the difference between 10% per year or, he said 10% per month or 20% per year. I mean, that's astronomically different when you look at it at the end of the year, right? You compound the 10% per month, it's going to be so much bigger than the 20% per year. And that's what he's saying, is that when you have these gains, use them, press your advantage, because you found something that works. Keep pushing that forward and compounding those gains. And finally, his last thing here, which I am a huge believer of, you need to utilize some kind of formalized approach with rules that improve your chances of capturing above market gains. And that charts are essential. So I'm going to read that just one more time. You need to utilize some kind of formalized approach with rules that improve your chances of capturing these outsized market gains. At the end of the day, he nails it right here on the head. You've got to have your own set of rules, right? We talked about timing earlier. You've got to be prepared. Now you've got to have the right rules to know what to do in the situation that you found yourself in. You're fortunate. You found the right stock. How do you sell it? How do you buy it? How do you find it? You've got to have your own set of rules in place to make that happen. And that's key. And I just did a podcast interview with somebody, and you can find it on the channel. They were asking me, give us your stock picks. And I was like, it doesn't matter what I say today. It's going to change tomorrow. It's going to change next week. So what I have to say today is kind of meaningless. What is most important is having your process in place. Because when you have the process in place, it's going to be easy for you to find these stocks. But you can't just go around, asking for a stock tip, right? That's just me, my personal opinion. Because if I told you today, go out and buy this stock, and it went down tomorrow, that doesn't mean that I was in the stock, and it doesn't mean that I had anything wrapped up in it. But you could have put your entire life savings into it, and then you're like, oh, this is all Chris's fault. No, I have my own systems in place, and I share those all the time. But you've got to find your own systems. That way, when the timing comes, going back to Mark's point here, the number one key to super performance is timing. And you can't miss out on that. So, hey, I hope you found this useful. This is going to be a series. We're going to cover all 8 of Mark's keys for unlocking super performance. And I really appreciate you tuning into today's episode. If you found this useful, make sure you go and watch some of the others and hit like, subscribe, and enable those notifications. That way you never miss any of the tools, tips, and tricks that we upload every single week to help you trade faster and trade smarter. I'll see you on the next episode. Okay, so what'd you think? That was pretty incredible, right? Now, if you like that, that's only a taste, only a sample of what you're going to find in the full AI stock trading system. And I really highly encourage you to go and check this out. Obviously, you are interested in learning on how to trade, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. Now, I'm going to take and download my entire trading system that I use day in and day out onto you. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is over at the AIStockTradingSystem.com. You're going to get phase 1, 2, and 3, several bonuses, and on top of that, I'm going to walk you through over a dozen trades that I put on inside of my account, holding your hand and showing you exactly how I got in, how I got out, how I use the artificial intelligence data, and how this could work inside of your own trading portfolio on a daily basis. So make sure you head on over to AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com to learn more and to get started and to download my decade plus worth of trading experience into your hands so you can start using the AI stock trading system today, the 5-step system to take the guesswork out of trading. Hey, if you like this video, let me know by leaving me a like below, and then subscribe and share it with somebody you think could use it as well. Be sure to comment below with your biggest takeaway from this episode and any suggestions you have for future episodes. And finally, make sure you watch these other videos to help you trade faster and trade smarter, and I'll see you on the next episode.